Let me know when everybody's up and ready. All right, good. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for coming out. This press conference is to address a term that we use all the time, but it's a term that I don't too particularly care for, celebratory gunfire. It's really an act, a criminal act, and it's a senseless act that people are getting hurt in our city, and we really need to do something about it. I just want to thank everybody who's here today. We had a press conference early at Transtar concerning impaired and DWI, and it was very successful. A whole lot of agencies, when people ask about our partnerships and how we work together, this is it. I want to pause and acknowledge Mayor Turner over the last 8 years. And we were joking in the office, this is your last official press conference with me and a lot of other law enforcement leaders, and including our DA and including our first responders, our fire. We in this region are so appreciative of your support and your leadership, and I just want to say thank you. And I know you're the type of person that you don't like people. You're like, hey, let's move on. But it's fitting on your way out to tell you how much I appreciate your leadership, and we will miss you. And everything that we've done right, we're going to keep pushing that on. So I just want to say thank you. But we got a lot of partners here, as I said. The Mayor, Turner, Chief Sam Peña, HFD, Council Member Edward Pollard, our DA Kim Ogg, Harris County Sheriff's Office Major Earl Dean, and also Major Nanny. The Harris County Fire Marshal is here, Laura Christensen. DPS, the regional, Major Truitt is here. Metro Police Department is Lieutenant Sandoval. And we have FBI acting SAC. We even got our federal partners here. Thank you for being here. Gigi Pickering, and Crime Stoppers, we have Andy Kahn. So just want to say a few words really, really quickly. We got a lot of people that want to talk, but again, it's a criminal act when you discharge a firearm in our city. And I don't care if it's a holiday or any other day. We have all of these individuals, all of these agencies represented. We all will have individuals out, marked and unmarked, plain clothes and uniforms, looking for those people who don't yield to our warning. And our warning is not to do it. Just on Christmas morning, we had an individual shot in the shoulder. The speed in which the bullet comes out the gun, it's got to find its way down. So please don't do it. It's just a really dangerous thing to do. And we're going to be out looking to hold those individuals accountable all over our city, all over our county, with the help of everybody here. I want to go over just a few things real quickly before I turn it over to the mayor. If you actively are seeing someone discharging a firearm, that's a 911 call, and we want you to call 911, okay? If not, call the non-emergency number with HPD if it's in the city, and that's 713-884-3131. That's when you're just hearing guns going off or discharge of a firearm. Just go ahead, and we don't want to clog up the non-emergency number that night. If it's in Harris County, their number is going to be 713-221-6000, 713-221-6000 for Harris County. So just make note of those numbers, and we'll send something out on the social media as well. I want to turn it over now to the mayor for a few words, and we have a flow, and I'll announce everyone else that's coming up afterwards.
Thank you, Chief Fenner, and to all of those who are standing here today, and Councilmember Edward Pollard, the Harris County District Attorney Kim Ogg, and everyone else here. Let me just be direct and to the point. It seems like every year right around this time, we speak to celebratory, unnecessary, unwanted gunfire. I think you can see this year with the coordination, the collaboration from our federal officers and law enforcement division, all the way down state, local, county, police, fire. I hope people are getting the message this year that we are taking this thing very, very seriously. There'll be much more coordination. The focus will be on addressing it. And right now, we're saying don't do it. You don't want to do it. The second message is if you do it, you're going to see law enforcement and police and fire, the county, the city, federal, all working together to find you. And the money that you could keep in your pocket, put on your grocery bill or utilities, you shouldn't have to then pay in terms of fine or spend your New Year's Eve or New Year's Day in jail. So this is serious. I'll close with this. There was a state representative who was injured when a bullet came from the sky, hit him in the back of his head. These incidents are real, and quite frankly, for a lot of people don't even go out on New Year's Eve. They stay at home. But because people are being stupid, not being wise, bullets are coming either through the ceiling or coming through the window, and people are just at home. So take it seriously. We are taking it seriously. And quite frankly, you don't want to do something that's going to hurt yourself, hurt your family members, or hurt someone else. So please do that. But I'm pleased to see this coordinated approach by all of the divisions, and I hope you see it, and I hope you take heed of it and keep your and no fireworks either.
We got it.
Let me just say that no, not in the city of Houston. No fireworks. So you don't want to do any of that. Thank you, Chief. Let me thank everybody. It's always good to see everybody coming and working collaboratively, and I think you're going to see that demonstrated on New Year's Eve going into the beginning of the year. Thank you so very much.
Thank you. And now, DA Kim Ogg.
Good afternoon. I'm Harris County District Attorney Kim Ogg, and I want to thank Mayor Turner for his focus on our public safety, especially during this term. He has focused resources heavily on supporting law enforcement, and we appreciate that, Mayor. And that goes directly to the public safety. Nearly 25 years ago at Crime Stoppers, we started having press conferences this time of year with the Houston Police Department, Sheriff's Department, DPS about this very thing. Crime Stoppers began paying rewards for anonymous information that led to the identity and charging of people who harmed other people simply by shooting in the air. It's easy to think of yourself as not a criminal, you're just having a good time, but you have a responsibility when you fire a weapon. And that responsibility can lead to criminal accountability. And so what we want people to remember is that you can hurt other people by shooting weapons for any reason within the city limits or out in the county, that what goes up must come down. And we want to prevent these deaths. To do that, we want to remind people, should you hurt somebody with a gun by firing it off irresponsibly, if they die, you could be charged with manslaughter. That carries a sentence of 2 to 20 years. If they're just harmed, you could be charged with aggravated assault. Again, a crime that carries 2 to 20 years. So, folks, nobody wants anybody to get hurt this New Year's Eve or any other night. The mayor asked this year of all of us in law enforcement, well, what's different? What's our message to the public? The difference is everybody's working together in law enforcement to protect our public this New Year's. And with all of these agencies and their trained officers, with Crime Stoppers support up to $5,000 for calls that lead to the solving of crimes that are caused by celebratory gunfire, the chances of somebody getting caught are much higher than they used to be. And that's why Chief Fenner is right in telling everybody where to call. So public, do your part. Call if you hear gunfire. Call if you see somebody shooting. And if you know somebody who fired a weapon that resulted in another person's death or injury, call Crime Stoppers. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Fire Chief Sam Peña.
Thank you, Chief. Then thank you, Mayor, and I want to thank both of you all for bringing this this group together. As you can see, it's a collaboration of all public safety partners in our efforts to essentially try to save lives this New Year's Eve. It is illegal, as has been mentioned, to set off fireworks in the city of Houston. There is a fine of $500 to $2,000 per incident. And every year we make this reminder, 4th of July, Christmas, New Year's, and every year we get people that are injured or worse in these during these celebrations. So again, it's a reminder that setting off fireworks is dangerous. Not only dangerous, but it's illegal to do it within the city of Houston. And a reminder that the greater Houston area is home to over 300,000 veterans. And a lot of times, setting off fireworks or celebratory gunfire can invoke certain memories that triggers a lot of times panic in some individuals. So let's be cautious. Let's be conscious of our actions. Plan accordingly. Be safe, and let's bring in 2024 in a responsible and safe manner. Thank you.
Well said. Thank you. DPS Major Truitt.
First of all, I'd like to thank Chief Fenner and Mayor Turner for the invitation and recognize our lasting partnerships. A common goal bonds us to protect Texans, and we are honored to be alongside such dedicated professionals. When it comes to celebrating the holidays, the Texas Department of Public Safety wishes everyone a safe and prosperous New Year. To help make this happen, troopers across the state will be out looking for intoxicated motorists and stopping drivers for violations that contribute to crashes. With a holiday, so let me be clear, don't drive intoxicated. Even 1 or 2 alcoholic beverages, when combined with certain medications, may make a person legally intoxicated. This intoxication slows reaction times, and oftentimes the difference between a fatal crash and a near miss comes down to seconds or less. Slowed reaction times are killer on our highways. Sadly, this holiday season, some are spending it in a state penitentiary for causing the death of another while driving under the influence of alcohol or drugs. And even more tragically, some families are mourning the loss of a loved one who was taken too soon from this world by a driver who placed a good time over someone's life. Our message is clear: don't drive intoxicated. The consequences can be disastrous. Thank you.
Thank you, Major. Thank you. And FBI Acting SAC, GG Pickering.
Good afternoon, everybody. First, I'd like to start by saying thank you very much, Mayor. Thank you, Chief, for hosting this press conference. Thank you to our partners. I am Acting Special Agent in Charge, Georgette Pickering of the FBI, but on my everyday job, I am the Assistant Special Agent in Charge of the National Security Branch. So this press conference I take very, very seriously. I would say that we speak with one voice, all of the agencies up here, when we say that public safety is a partnership between law enforcement and responsible citizens. Law enforcement will do our part. We want people to do their part. Everyone should celebrate the arrival of a new year, but doing it with guns is not a smart decision. If you see something, say something. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And Crime Stoppers, Andy Kahn.
Good afternoon. My name's Andy Kahn with Crime Stoppers. And as someone who's worked with surviving family members of homicide for over 30 years, I've had the misfortune of also working with some families who've been the victims of what we call celebratory gunfire, which in reality, as District Attorney Ogg said, is simply manslaughter or deadly conduct with a firearm or aggravated assault with a deadly injury with a deadly weapon. But we give it this cute code name called celebratory gunfire. What goes up must come down. And in 2020, I spoke with the family of a 61-year-old registered nurse at the Menninger Clinic, Felipe Ashford, who was killed by celebratory gunfire. It's real. It happens. I know families who've borne the result of this. And as a result of this, Crime Stoppers of Houston is the only Crime Stoppers in the country which will grant a reward of up to $5,000 for any information leading up to the arrest of the suspect and or suspects who commit these types of brazen acts. You can reach us at 713-222-TIPS. You can submit a tip online, www.crime-stoppers.org. We have a mobile app available in over 20 languages. And as I look around on our partners here, we also have partners in the community. And the community is our best eyes and ears out there. So we're asking you, the community, to step up to the plate and make sure that we don't end up with more cases like this. So on behalf of Crime Stoppers, do your job. Let us know if you know somebody that's shooting a gun up in the air. Because as I said, what goes up must come down. And in some cases, when it comes down, it ends up killing people. Thank you.
Thank you, Andy. Well said. And finally, translation in Spanish, Assistant Chief Patty Cantu.
Excuse me, Mayor. Alcalde. Queremos dar las gracias a todos, alcalde de la ciudad, el Chief Fenner, gracias por todo, todos nuestros socios aquí, quienes están aquí con nosotros hoy, ayudarnos, y especialmente a los medios que están aquí hoy, ayudándonos a transmitir este mensaje tan importante para nosotros y para toda la comunidad. Es lamentable que estemos reunidos aquí para discutir temas que son 100% prevenibles. Hemos oído, no existen los disparos de celebración. Es mal costumbre y a veces tiene consecuencias fatales. Y no solamente eso, también ponen a riesgo a la familia, vecinos y los seres queridos. Descargando armas al aire libre para celebrar no se permite. Es un delito muy grave. Es demasiado peligroso porque descargando una arma puede sin querer herir o matar a una persona. Cuando una persona dispara al aire, la bala sube y tiene que bajar. Donde pega o donde baja no sabemos hasta que los médicos o la policía han llegado. Nuestros oficiales juntos con nuestros socios del fiscal saldrán esta noche del Año Nuevo y si encontramos a personas disparando al aire libre, que estén preparados al empezar el Año Nuevo en la cárcel. Obviamente no queremos eso para nadie. Queremos que todos celebren responsablemente y necesitamos ayuda de nuestros residentes para educarnos unos a otros sobre este acto sin sentido. Este lunes, el pasado del Navidad, un hombre de 22 años le pegó una bala, atravesó el techo de su vehículo y le pegó el hombro. El año pasado arrestamos a 5 personas por descargar armas del fuego al aire libre. Este año queremos 0 detenciones. También esta mañana tuvimos una presa de conferencia de manejando intoxicado. Estuvimos con nuestros socios de seguridad y policía del público, también con los familiares que perdieron a sus hijas por malas acciones de personas que estaban manejando intoxicados. Los testimonios fueron muy impactantes, que esas muertes pudieron ser prevenidas. Hemos tenido más de 2,700 accidentes relacionados manejando bajo la influencia y aproximadamente un tercio de ellos resultaron en alguien herido. En los últimos 2 años, el 20% de nuestros accidentes fatales involucraron a conductores que consumieron alcohol. Si conoce a un familiar o amigo que conduzca en este estado de ebriedad, comparte este mensaje con él o ella. Tal vez ofrezca un viaje o asegure que tengan alguien designado para manejar. Los fuegos, ya San Peña ya discutió de eso, no se permiten en la ciudad. Recuerde que estamos aquí en unidad a salvar vidas, pero esto solo es posible con la ayuda de nuestra comunidad. puede llamar al 911 si ven a las personas disparando al aire y los ven. Pero si solamente lo están oyendo y no saben de dónde vienen, por favor llaman la línea de sin emergencia. También, si algo pasa y algo trágico pasa, tenemos nuestros Crime Stoppers. Si tienen información, ahí también puede, si puede encontrar a la persona y lo pueden arrestar, hay también maneras de avanzar en un recurso de monetaria. Gracias.
Thank you. Thank you, Chief. We'll open it up for questions to anybody on the panel up here. Yes, go ahead.
Can you talk a little bit more about call prioritization? You said if people see a person with a gun firing in the air,
Absolutely.
call 911.
Yeah, it's an active. You actually seeing that occur. You need to call 911 because you have that. And another thing, one of the chiefs brought up to me, a good description as well, because after that person fires off, they're gonna maybe walk up the street somewhere or whatnot. So give us the description so we can locate it. And again, if you're just hearing gunshots, because unfortunately, people don't heal to our warning sometimes, and it's and I hate to say part of the culture because it shouldn't be. A lot of discharge in the firearms. So we don't want to overload the 911 capacity. So that's why I'm saying if you just hear some gunshots, go to the non-emergency number, okay?
Where does a reckless discharge, or I don't know what the term is, fall compared to other calls you might get, like a assault or a...
It's a code 1 call. We respond, it's a shooting, somebody's shooting, actually shooting a gun. So it's a code 1. Thanks for asking that, okay? Anybody else?
Do you have any recent numbers in terms of, I know I read that last New Year's, I think 5 people were hit by celebratory gunfire in the city?
We'll get you the exact number. I think that's pretty close. It was 5 or 6, 2. It was 2, but that's just in our in the city, but countywide, and we'll get you those numbers combined. Okay. All right. Okay.
And what do you say if people do call emergency or non-emergency? You guys are responding to as much as you can. An individual doesn't see your officers call up, and they end up being
Yeah.
frustrated. What do you say to that person that's...
Thanks for asking that. That's a good one too, because when people do call, they expect a unit, but sometimes, and we don't want to go to the reportee's home or apartment, okay? We just want to go into the area and make sure that that person is not there, that's still not going on. But do call us, and because we want to. But one thing about operations going forward and on New Year's Eve, we got the statistical data where a lot of these calls are coming from. And we're going to put officers in those areas and other areas as well. So, okay. Anybody else? We good? Well, thank y'all. And let me end with this. Please adhere to our warnings. Let's everybody be responsible with drinking, fireworks, senseless discharging of firearms. Let's just look out for one another. Do what's neighborly and common sense. Do and celebrate. Nobody's saying that you can't celebrate. But do it responsibly. And let's have a safe weekend. Going into the new year, grab that momentum, and let's have a great 2024. All of us in our entire region. So thank us again for everybody being here. Thank you.